Check this out. This deer was actually crushed by that rock. You don't see that very often. You can see how the ribs everything are broken underneath the rock right there. That rock came down from right there. Must have been during a flood or something, I don't know. Maybe the deer tried to climb up that way and broke the rock loose, fell backwards, and the rock came down on him. But yeah, you don't see that very often. I've come across a few instances similar to this. An elk up in Montana, a bull elk, that got crushed by a tree. While I was in the vicinity, I actually heard the tree crash, and I heard him struggling, and went over and took a look. Sure enough, it busted his skull open, busted one of his antlers off, and you could, obviously tell he wasn't going to survive that kind of an injury, and he was just basically quivering still. It was one of really heavy snowfall days up in Montana up in September. Just knocking over trees left and right because of the weight of the snow. So, but this is pretty interesting too. You don't see this very often. So yeah, this deer got crushed by a boulder. Wow. Nice. That's what we call getting shed happy right here, baby. Let's go find some more. You to be alive right about now. Man, I thought I was going to get skunked. I've been out here for about 4 hours. I'm on my way back to my truck right now. And I'm going to try to hit my evening spot tonight. And I don't know if you can see it or not, but I was pummeling through here pretty quick. I don't know how I spotted that. I can just see a base right over there. Let's go check that out. Let's see what that is. I think it's a good antler. That looks like a pretty good sized base. Yeah, I was walking through here pretty quick. Wasn't expecting to find anything. I thought my day was over. Thought I was going to get skunked. But you never know coming through this stuff. I mean, obviously, look at this. It's so hard to find an antler in this stuff. Oh my God. That's just crazy. Everything looks like an antler. Wow. The closer I get, the more obvious that antler is. Look at that. Now you can see it. Oh boy. That's why I don't follow roads. I mean, like I said, I'm only maybe a couple 100 yards max from the road there. And even though I thought my day was over, the road would be an easy way to take back to my truck. I always avoid the roads. I don't like walking on the roads. If there's area that I can cover that I haven't looked at yet, and that the roads, the trucks and stuff might not see from the road, I'll go there. And this is exactly what happens when I do that. Let's go check this guy out. That's very cool. Wow, he's big enough to match up. There's got to be a match around here somewhere for this guy. right here, huh? Can you believe that? Look at that guy. That's the biggest one of the trip so far. Very oddly balanced, man. And it's another hard white. Everything I found on this trip has been hard white. I was out here last year, didn't find any hard whites. Didn't find any chalkies either, but then again, I didn't really cover this flatland area like this. Still in the flats. So yep, got another one. Yes, sirree. What an odd configuration on that little die. Jeez, look at that. Isn't that cool? Right on, we did not get skunked. That little eye guard is kind of cool. It's just so pointy. I feel like I could stab myself with that thing. Oh, let's look around, see if we can't find his match. Hopefully he didn't drop it in the wide open where other people could have seen it. Yes, right on. Oh man, I love it. Love finding antlers. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's even better when you think your day is over and you think you got skunked and you find one on your way back. That's the best. We're actually going to do something kind of cool this evening. I'll actually hold off on that. I'll tell you right when we get started. There's a shed right there. Right in the open. This road is only 50, 60 yards from it. And just the way it's lying, and with the sun going up over here like this, from east to west on the southerly axis, you just can't see that because of the way the sun's shining on it. Isn't that awesome, man? I love it. That's what I love about shed hunting. It's not easy, but if you take risks and go against your instincts sometimes, you know, you come out and you find sheds, man. This is awesome. It's a pretty good sized 3 or 4 point. Let's go check it out. Nobody's walked over here. I can't believe this. Oh man. And that's so obvious from that vehicle right over there from that parking lot. It's just sitting right out here in the open. Last year's. That's cool. Let's set you up so you can see me do the pickup here. All right. So this is a perfect example of what I've talked about before, having the sun at your back while you're shed hunting. The road, it's only 60 yards away, right there, going over to this little parking lot, but the sun is always on this side of the road, so it's only shining against the back side of these antlers. So the back side will look white. You know, of course, the way you're looking at it right now, it looks white, but from over there, it looks gray, just like all the sagebrush. So that's why nobody's seen this thing the whole time. There's another road just 100 yards that way going down. But because of the way the sun is, they couldn't spot this. Nobody could. I mean, imagine how many people have driven up this road. This is a very popular road. There's people up and down it every single day of the year. 364 days a year, people are driving up and down this road. And nobody has spotted this just because of the way the sunlight is hitting it. It's out in the wide open. You just have to be on the opposite side of it in order to spot it. It's crazy. And of course I spotted it because once I stepped up to within about 30 feet of it is when I finally spotted it. I was walking into the sun, but my eyes are tuned. So, but anyways, yeah, that's the coolest thing. So that's like the biggest shed hunting tip that I can give people is have the sun at your back. You could miss them even when they're 30 feet away if the sun is not at your back. If you're looking into the sun, you could miss them with they're just 20, 30 feet away from you. But if you try to align yourself so that the sun is at your back, they show up nice and white and real easy to spot. But this, wow. You gotta love it, man. Here, let's get this thing closer to the camera. There's people walking right over there too. I mean, go figure. It's a hard white. Nice rack. Doesn't have a whole lot of base to them, but we got one. All we need to do is find one more, and then I can start doing my little fun thing, which is rattling up the bucks. Because today is November 12th, and they're in the middle of their rut right now. And the few bucks that I have come across, you know, all have does with them, and they're focused on the does, period. I mean, I walked so close to them, like 20 yards or less, and they know I'm there, but they're too interested in sniffing those does to care about me being there. It's so funny. But they're all little bucks so far. With another antler like this, I could rattle up some bigger bucks. So let's see if we find another antler, and then let's go rattling. Get some good video footage of some big old bucks coming in with the swollen necks and stuff. Oh, that's so cool to see. So yeah, let's keep at it, guys. Nothing broken on this guy or nothing. That's awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Loving it. All right, well, we're back, folks. Found that first antler about maybe an hour ago. I circled just a little bit looking for the match, and then I decided to follow this row of trees down into that gully over there, just to see what it looked like, and get right on the edge of those power lines where I can look down into the bowl that's below this. Wide open bowl, no trees in it whatsoever. Got one right down there. Little two-pointer. Right in that white sand. And that's where I showed you guys I was just glassing with the sun at my back. And I spotted an antler down there. One that I'm sure is an antler, and then another one that could be an antler, might possibly. So I was walking up along the rim of it here to get a different angle to look at it. Glassing down at what I thought was an antler still, and just as when I got it in focus, a deer walked right past it. And we're talking like about probably over 1,500 yards away. So I'm like, is that a sign? Maybe I should go down and check it out. That might actually be an antler. So once I decided that, and I know I got enough daylight left, just enough daylight left to get down there and do some searching, especially right where that deer passed. I can't believe that. That was just too funny. I'm sitting there glassing up what I think is an antler, and then this deer walked almost right on top of the thing, just right down past it. I'm like, wow, what an odd time for me to be glassing that right when that deer crossed through. That was so cool. But now we're back in that area here. We found that first antler right at the bottom of this. And so I was just glassing it up. I'm up a little higher, and I got the sun to my back. And I'm glassing down in that flatter area right down there. And I see an antler right here. This is tip number 2 for you guys. When you're looking for shed antlers out in the open country, don't become complacent with the wide open range and how far you can actually see. Don't try to look so far out there. Don't try to look at everything that's 100 yards out and stuff. When you're looking for deer antlers or elk antlers too, really keep your eyes close to you. 20 to 50 yards out is really as far out as you should be looking for antlers, unless you're glassing. Okay, so if you're just hiking along looking for antlers, keep your vision from 0 to 50 yards. Don't try to, don't be complacent on looking further away just because you can. All right, that's the big thing that I used to do a lot, and I missed a lot of antlers that way. I almost missed this one too, because I'm glassing down 100 yards and it's only 20 yards away from me. And I just happened to glass down like so, glass all the way across there. Then I pull my binoculars down, and as soon as I pull my binoculars down, I caught a glimpse of the tips right there. So that's tip number 2. If you're in open country and just because you can see further away than 50 yards, don't try to look further than 50 yards unless you're glassing it, all right? Keep your eyes focused on 50 yards and in, all right? That's tip number 2 from Happy. So let's go check out this antler and see what it looks like. Maybe it's the match to that first one we found. I see a big fork on it though, so it's not another 3-point, but he could have been 3 on one side and 4 on the other. Long, skinny fellow. This what I know this country is good for. Look at that coyote paw print right there at the antler. Yep. Again, this is wide open. I mean, look behind me here. See that yellow vehicle up there? That's my truck. Sometimes, you just fight your own instincts and you decide, okay, well, that little draw looks good, even though it's close to the roads and everything. Maybe, it's in sagebrush. So, shoot, these antlers can be inside the sagebrush and nobody can see them until you're, walk up at them from a different angle or something. So, yeah, just because it's next to a road, it could be 10 yards off the road. And people driving down that road might never see it just because they don't have the right angle. Or the sun might be in the wrong angle. But this is number 2, and he does not look like the match. He's got a narrower base. Let's check it out. Yeah, that's 5-point. And I guarantee he is not the match to this one back here. Which means we have 2 singles to match up now in this little area. Same age though, hard white again. What's really cool is now we've got 2 antlers that are decent size. We can go rattle up some bucks now if we get done shed hunting early enough. All right, so here's the cool thing. These 2 antlers that I found just a few hours ago, we're going to try to rattle up a buck with them. See how long it takes for us to rattle in a big buck. Still about 10 yards. I rattled those guys in. He came running to me.